What's up, everybody? I'm Nesson.com's Ricky Doyle, joined by Mike Cole on another edition of the Nesson podcast. Mike, we had a great opportunity recently, to talk with somebody that was, I know, kind of, it tugs at the heartstrings. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but growing up, somebody that you and I certainly watched. Vaughn.
Right, yeah.
Former Red Sox first baseman.
One of, as a kid growing up in the 90s in New England, one of everybody's first favorite players.
Right.
A guy that you remember, an iconic Red Sox player. I think that it's just, in your mind's eye, you can always see Mo Vaughn there, crouched over the plate, the arm out over the plate.
I was going to say, the first batting stance you really imitated as a kid.
Right.
Even before Nomar.
Exactly.
It was, hanging over the plate with the, loading up on the body armor, whatever you had in the kitchen.
Yeah, Mo Vaughn taught even right-handed kids how to hit left-handed.
Exactly.
In New England. Yeah, so... we got a chance to sit down and talk to him. Mo's kind of making the rounds, pushing his MVP clothing collection, which actually sounds really cool. He's making this, basically started a clothing company for big dudes. And
yeah,
Mo's obviously a pretty big dude. Even talked about our clothing, which
he did.
Is probably not as stylistic as whatever they're coming up with. But no, it was great to sit and talk with Mo. Like we said, a guy who really had an influence on us growing up, and I'm sure a lot of people or any age, really, at that time. It was a good time for Red Sox baseball.
Kind of an underrated era in Red Sox baseball, too. One that you don't hear a lot about because, it's so easy to get caught up in the success they've had since, dating back to 2004 and even, 03 going into 04 when everything kind of changed. But, the mid to late 90s was a pretty fascinating time when you look back on it. A lot started to change at that point. And when we found out we were going to have the opportunity to talk to Mo Vaughn, me and you we jumped at it.
Yeah, very modest too, by the way. We asked him about that. We'll get into it once we switch over. But we asked him about that. He kind of downplayed it. So modest, a real interesting insight on playing in the major leagues, and he's a guy who's kind of pretty introspective about the way his career went. So it was really, really interesting. Good to talk to him for a little bit.
Yep, certainly. An interesting guy in Red Sox history, one that I guess people would say, what is he up to these days?
Yep.
So we made it our obligation to get in there, roll up the sleeves, figure it out. What's Mo Vaughn up to? All right, so before David Ortiz, before Manny Ramirez, before Dustin Pedroia and all these guys, there was you, Mo Vaughn. And first of all, thanks for coming in here to Nesson. Ever since you retired, you got your hands on a lot of things, including this clothing company, which I'd like to pick your brain about. Well, just tell us a little bit about that first and foremost.
I've been very fortunate. After life of baseball has been very successful. Been doing a few other ventures. Now I've got into MVP collections. It's MVPcollections.com. I started this line because I was actually the customer going out looking for product for myself, and it was not in the stores. But the fortunate thing for me was that I was able, to have, the income to go out and get my stuff tailored and do different things to keep my wardrobe up to par. This came about because I was thinking about the guy that didn't have that opportunity. So I understand clearly what it's like to not have any style, not have any clothes, somewhat of like a lifestyle look, the same thing that you guys have on. Why can't, guys my size and bigger have the same opportunities? So that's how the whole look came, was just me looking for things, not finding them, having stuff tailored so I knew the stuff was there, and then going out and looking for sizes. So my partner Diane, who's down there taking the photo, she has 20 plus years in the business, and we put our heads together, found that there was actually a need. DXL is probably the biggest opportunity now for big and tall, and we felt that there was a niche. I think the biggest thing also is that, we're made in America.
Nice.
So we do all our sourcing and things out of Los Angeles, California. Everything's done in here in the United States. and we're trying to price point it, give everybody the opportunity to have some style, and and have a selection. We're adding to it. I think the biggest thing going on e-com. Listen, I'm 49 years old, and I'm not a social media guru at all. It's just never been my way. But we launched an e-com 7 months ago. And I think the main thing that we also been able to do is we are listening, we are watching, we are trying to find out exactly the structure and where to hit the bullseye for this type of customer.
Right.
We went out, we started, 1X to 4X. We see now we got to go 2X, 6X, maybe 7X. But we're trying to use all our social media information, right, because there's really not a track record to go on to find out exactly what the customer is looking for. Like right now, I got a stretch jean on, a moto jean, with the jean jacket. Same thing you guys can get, but now we're able to provide that same style. So that's how it came from. I enjoy it. I never thought I was going to be in fashion. Never thought that was my way, but it's come around. It's come to life, and we're just trying to build the MVP Collections brand right now. We're trying to just stay true to what we know, have patience, understand we got to get it out there, listen to the people, listen to the information, make the adjustments, and see where it takes us. But that's the gist of what how we got here.
I think that was the first time anybody's ever complimented me on Mike's style. So
yeah.
I was going to say, hopefully, whatever you got coming out is a little more.
But my point is just a slack shirt, button down, that you're able to get up in the morning and go in the closet. That's what we got to be able to provide to our guys the same way. You know what I mean? And like I said, it came to me like it's easy for me. I call my tailor every year.
Right.
We figure out the style, we change up. But what about that guy that can't do that?
Right.
That's the person I'm trying to hit.
Very cool. Mind if we talk a little baseball?
Of course.
All right. So we were kicking this around earlier. The Red Sox just won another division last night. We're obviously in the golden era of Red Sox baseball. But we were kicking this around. Do you think you helped start this whole era? I mean, if you go back, your career started in the early 90s, but even, into the mid-90s, especially that 95 season, of course, and then, the 97, 98, and then, once you were gone, the 99 season. It started to kick up a little bit in the 90s. Do you think you get enough credit for helping to start that whole era? Do you think it dates back that far?
That 98 season. And that was,
right.
I don't know. Pedro coming in, and it seemed like the rivalry with the Yankees was heating up a little bit, and it just kind of was.
I don't know.
You notice like a culture change?
Listen, everybody's here for a reason, okay? I think my time was here. I was probably a little bit too loud, a little bit too boisterous, but I think I got people to start accepting different types of people and different types of individuals around Boston. And I didn't win what I wanted to win here, but if I made it a little bit easier on the next superstar to come in, and maybe they've, seen some things that I've done, and help the process. That's how I look at it. Look, we all lost when we lost those years, when we didn't win since 1918, and when the guys won in 2004, that took all the weight off of all of our shoulders. We all brought,
Did you really feel that?
100.
Because I know they mentioned that, but I wasn't
ask
sure.
Any player that has any substantial time in Boston who has a history. I mean, I have a history here. I've won some All-Star games. I've been in some All-Star games. And the most valuable player. I won a few wars against the Yankees, but always lost. Anyone who has any substantial time will tell you when that flag was raised in 2004, we all were partying because now we could talk trash too.
Right.
We didn't have to hear the garbage from people walking down the street. Listen, I worked in New York. I had to always New York. I freaking hate New York. I was from Boston. There's no way I could ever. But you got to listen to it until somebody breaks the trend. So when we 2004, then we tacked on a couple more. Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. I don't care. I don't care who did it. I could have done it. They do it. I don't care. But it just gave us. It took a lot. It took the weight off of all of our shoulders. Don't get me wrong. I love New York. New York's been great to me.
Right.
But I'm just saying, as a rival, you can't talk trash until you get it done. When they got it done in 2004, it was just great for all of us. It was really great for all of us. And I'm just happy they've been consistent. Now, I went for Worcester first in '95.
Right.
We didn't win anything, but they do it. It's a problem for Boston Red Sox history. What's going on in the past 10, 12 years, no doubt.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, and kind of tying that whole thing together with the success they've had over the last decade plus, and you mentioning you were kind of inspirational in Boston accepting new types of people, and you just look at David Ortiz, for example. He's do you just sit there and kind of marvel at how he's able? People just gravitate towards him. He's been at the epicenter of all this success, and just kind of marvel at the career he's had.
He didn't get any trouble. I got a little trouble when I was here. He didn't do any. He played well, and he honed his craft, and he got the time. He earned the time to keep staying, and all of a sudden, you forget that he played for the Minnesota Twins.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's partly of him, knowing what to do, knowing how to react, knowing how to change his game, change his mindset to where you get a chance to hit 500 plus home runs for one team.
Yeah.
That's longevity, and that's great. So it's all about timing. I also credit I stand by this. When you have ownership that wants to win,
mm-hmm.
you're going to win. And when you have ownership that doesn't want to win or doesn't care about winning, it's very, very tough to win.
That is one of the big differences.
That's
in the last
the one
12
difference.
Years.
And that's what's great about it now is that, John Henry and the entire crew, they really make the experience for the ball player coming, the ball
mm-hmm.
player coming back a good experience. And we come back and they weren't our owners at our time, but they treat us like the players are treated now. It's Red Sox have become a really, really top organization to go play for, be a free agent and come to, and it's worked out well.
One thing I'm curious about is, you started your career here in Boston, and then you end up in Anaheim, and I would imagine, as an outsider, it seems hard to play here at times, especially if you're not going well. And you go out to Anaheim, it feels like a much different atmosphere. As a professional athlete playing at the top of your game, what atmosphere do you thrive on more? Is it that there's more pressure, more intensity here, but if you win, I mean, it's celebrated like crazy? Or would you rather be out there where it's a little more laid back and not many people care, but at least you're not going to have as much scrutiny?
I think I got hurt the first play in 1990.
Right, yeah.
Dugout, and I physically was never the same. And 5 years later, I was out of the game.
Yeah.
I hurt my ankle. My ankle still hurts today at some points. Like, I just hurt it, how many ever years ago. But I'll admit, when I left the Red Sox clubhouse and went to California,
mm-hmm.
it wasn't the same.
Right.
It wasn't the same intensity. It wasn't the same scrutiny. You need that scrutiny. We all need that scrutiny. All of us pro athletes, we need the scrutiny. The greatest teams have the toughest coaches, and they're scrutinized the most. I don't care what level you're on. If you want to be what you want to be, you're going to need the pressure, the intensity, and the accountability that's going to make you play better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I played well when I came here. I knew in the off season, you got to get ready because what you did last year does not matter. And I came out every year when I was here and played hardball, and it worked out for me.
Definitely.
Have you been keeping tabs on this year's team at all? This year's Red Sox team?
Yeah, we're right there. We got the best offense in the league, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like Betts. I like our shortstop Xander.
Yep.
I like our team. Our team is tough. Tough. Plus, you got Dustin, who is going to be there. He's going to be the captain soon. But I like the young guys. Young guys are sharp. They can hit.
It seems like they've got that balance that you're looking for, where you have your Ortiz, you have your Pedroia, but you've also got that young. Yeah. That's huge now in today's game, where you need those young, cost-controlled guys, and they've all took the step at the same time. Whether it's Betts, Bradley, Bogarts, they're all playing out of their minds.
Playing well, and they listen. When you do it a couple of times, you get used to doing it. You start plugging in this. When you start feeling that you've been there and you know how to do it, you're going to do it because you know it.
How long did it take for you to get comfortable as a major leaguer? Like, is there any point that it stands out where you were like, it kind of...
I remember when I came back after I won my most valuable player in 95. Mm-hmm. I stepped on the field after that, like, I was unstoppable. Mm-hmm. And I was.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Look at my numbers.
Yeah, I was going to say. The numbers speak for themselves.
Look at my numbers.
Well, the fact that you say it happened after 95 when you won an MVP is...
But when you win that MVP, it's like, yo,
I'm the real
everybody
deal.
knows.
I'm the real
and I know. But everybody knows, too, like, yo, this dude is for real. And you start playing like that. And it's all here.
That's the thing.
It's all here.
Right.
You know, I mean, listen, in my first full season, 93, you know, I got my first full season, I drove in 100 runs. Mm-hmm. 94. Now, remember 94, I was 340 plus, 26 and 82 at the All-Star break, and we went on strike.
Damn strike, yeah.
I was disgusted. I remember that. I couldn't play. Everything felt great because that was after, that was after my first full season. So I was like, all right, I know what I got to do.
Right.
And then I came back in 95, and I didn't think I was going to win the MVP in 95. But I did. And then 96, 97, 98, we were slashing.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
like we used to mob to the plate then. It was good. It was good.
Now, Mike mentioned like the kind of the blend this team has of young guys and some veterans. I mean, when you first came up, is there anybody that kind of, I don't want to say took you under the wing, but that you kind of looked up to and modeled the game after?
The whole game was changed. When I came up, we were raised, it was 24, 25 man roster, right? And because of the money, it was 24 and 22 veterans, probably 2 rookies.
Right.
Now it's flip-flop.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's when you were like, you shut up, you got the coffee, you picked up the balls, you kept your mouth closed. You were basically seen and not heard.
Right.
But I had some great guys in my clubhouse. I had Clemens, I had Pena, I had Jack Clark, I had Brunansky, I had a lot of Boggs, I had Jody Reed, I had a lot of Ellis Burks, I had a lot of guys that taught you how to play. And then as I got better, then I started talking to the other guys where, the Mattingleys and the Bretts, because Brett was playing first base at that time. And then there was Gantner, and then Robin Yount, and then there was Lou Whitaker, Chet Lemon, and all the guys. It was just Cal, and his brother, and Billy, and then you go out to Detroit and you see Cecil, and then you go out, and all of a sudden you start knowing Texas. It was Will Clark. Everybody's talking to you because, first of all, you're lefty. So all left-handed hitters, we're on a separate fraternity than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because we have to do different things in situations where, you have that left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher in the bullpen waiting for you. So you have to have a different. You got to be like evil to play, being a left-handed hitter in the key spot. You got to be bad. You got to be a bad dude because you're going to face that guy every time, every game. You're going to face that guy in a key situation, and you got to produce. So you got to know it. But I was lucky to be raised by some ex-ball players that taught you how to play. And, you're going to show up. You're going to come to work every day. You're going to get your 600 at-bats. You're going to hit your 300 home runs. You're going to hit 300. You're going to drive 100 RBIs. And that's the standard. And there's nothing else less than that. And that's how it was back in the day. It was 300, 300, 30 home runs, or not even the average, but the 30 home runs, the 100 RBIs, that was a given if you played every day. And that's how guys looked. That's how guys in that 3, 4, 5 were raised to do. And that's what we did.
Some good years.
Yeah. All right, across those guys, you build a little mental Rolodex.
I talked to, as me and Cecil Philly, we're best friends. And his son is my godson. He's out of the game. But I found this thing where the top 100, longest home runs. Oh, I'm number 4 or 5, and Cecil's number 7. And he's older than me, but I get that on him all the time. Just look at the home runs.
You guys don't have like a swing off. You don't take
no.
I got
let me tell you something. I got a 4-year-old, and he's going to start running around and soon. So I got to start hitting again. Probably like next year.
Yeah,
because I got to show him how to do it.
We got a men's league that if you want to come and play with us.
You got insurance?
No, we can figure it out.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
We'll find something.
No.
All right, it's been a long day for you. We'll let you out of here. Before you go, you think the Red Sox World Series this year or what?
Listen, it's going to be tough. We got the main thing is pitching.
Yep.
The main thing is a bullpen. We got Koji back in the bullpen. It's A spot. Got a closer. Listen, you couldn't get out last night. That's one thing. You've already won.
Right.
The intensity is going to flip when the playoffs comes, and we can hit. So why not?
Why not? Right.
Why not? And it'd be nice to send Mr. Ortiz out, a nice way.
Yeah, no kidding.
So let's hope we get there.
Sounds like the best retirement gift yet. Send him off that way.
Not bad, right?
Very good. Move on. Thank you very much.
All right, John.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in.
All right.
Thanks a lot.